we're going around the farm in his Kubota.
Combine with my cousin John.
Hello and welcome to the Mike Less Farmhand Mike YouTube channel, bringing you some of the biggest and best variety and definitely the most versatile farming content on social media today. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Farmhand Mike.
When you're running combine and have that view over there, that's just pretty awesome. That's almost as awesome as watching that Mike Less guy on YouTube.
That is one good looking tractor and grain cart.
Alright guys, I'm going to do some farm surveying with my pups here. So we're going around the farm in his Kubota, and I don't know, maybe I'll make a YouTube video of this. Stay tuned. Going past my Uncle George's excavating business there. Now we're cruising down Green Valley Drive.
Winter wheat's looking pretty good here.
I got a lot of things going on in this video. I was recently back in Northeast Ohio, Mahoning County, Ohio. That's where I grew up. That's where my dad was born and raised. And we are going to jump in his Kubota. We're going to take a tour around the family farm here, check things out. A lot's changed since I was a kid, but some things are still the same. And just going to show you some of the sites, whatnot. The creek here is a little bit backed up, so I'm guessing we got some beavers farther downstream. Maybe later on in the video we'll head down there and check that out. But yeah, this crossing is a little deeper than usual. My cousin John, who now runs the family farm, is finishing up corn harvest just a couple miles from here. So we'll head over to the field. We'll check things out there. Maybe get some drone footage, ride in the combine with them. Who knows, might even get put to work. Just have to wait and see.
Hey guys, I am riding in the combine with my cousin John. John and I are the exact same age. John is running the original Less family farm here in the Salem, Ohio area. So he's just getting his corn harvest wrapped up. So I'm out here shooting a video, and we're going to show off his machinery.
Things have come a long way since I was a kid. My first memories of shelling corn was my grandpa and Uncle Ed out here. They had a 2-row New Idea pull-type sheller, and if I remember right, that was hooked sometimes to an Oliver 1365 that had a front-wheel assist, a white 285. There was a 2-wheel drive one at one time, had a year-round cab. I remember a 285 front-wheel assist with the factory cab, and then moving up to a white 7300 combine, a white 8600 combine. There's been a couple other combines till now, and John is now running a John Deere S660 with an 8-row corn head. Also in the video, beside the combine, you're going to see his John Deere 6190R point and Unverferth grain cart. However, when I was a kid, I remember the main part of the farm being the apple orchard. Used to grow a lot of sweet corn and had 3 laying houses of hens and sold eggs. Of course, Grandpa did grow corn, soybeans, wheat. I remember some oats and rye and stuff like that. Pumpkins, a lot of pumpkins back then, but my dad talks about the days of them growing a lot of vegetables when he was young. But right now, John is pretty much corn and soybeans, does grow some winter wheat, bales and sells some straw. No livestock. He does grow a lot of pumpkins, though, and does some custom combining. When I was a kid, this area was full of different apple orchards. There's still some apple orchards left in the area, but nothing like there used to be. Used to be a lot of vegetables grown in this area. I remember a lot of farmers that used to grow potatoes back here, and I don't think there's really anybody left that's a potato farmer right in this area. It was my great-grandpa Les that migrated to this area to start an apple orchard years ago. See, the Les family come from Luxembourg over in Europe to the Dubuque, Iowa area, and there's a lot of Leses in that area, but my great-grandpa back in the day found out that this was supposed to be a good area for apple orchards or fruit farms, whatnot, and he moved over here. It's my understanding he actually moved over here and left his family behind till he got established, and then the family come later. My great-grandpa passed away in 1975. I was only 7 years old at the time, so I barely remember him. All I know is they referred to him as Big Grandpa. He was a very tall man. I just wish as a kid growing up that we would have had GoPros and drones and all that good stuff. However, I don't think my grandpa and uncle would have had much humor for me walking around working with a video camera. I have just a few more minutes of some drone footage here, on the ground footage of corn harvest, and then I'm going to jump back into Kubota with my dad, and we're going to tour around. And down in the bottom across the creek is the old potato storage, or what's left of it. Now, I don't ever remember them storing potatoes in here, but there was a railroad track that ran across here many, many years ago. I still remember some trains going across here when I was little, but they used to store potatoes in here, and then my grandpa bought it years later. My dad thinks at one time they maybe even stored vegetables in here, and then my grandpa later stored apples. However, this has been abandoned as long as I can remember. But it's still pretty neat, so we're going to walk inside and check it out.
Let's go inside and have a look.
But back, years ago, when they had shovels, and I'm not sure the word for it was, but they worked off the cable.
There's no way to get to this, so very few people, unless you live right here, even know about this. There's no road getting to this, anything like that. If it wasn't for the railroad was the only access to this. I'm sure back in the day there was a road or a drive back to this as well. So, this is your chance to see it. I'm going to walk through it, and you can see what's left. Now, I do remember when this garage door was operational and there was a roof on here, because like I said, when I was little, I remember we would store some bulk bins for the apples and stuff down here in the off-season. However, I don't think there's been electric to this place for a long time.
Yeah. We're gonna try it.
Right.
So this would have been the railroad right there.
I believe so.
Yeah, oh yeah. But you said hobos used to walk up and down this railroad, right, when you was a kid?
Sure.
You remember that.
And the train used to run.
Well, I faintly remember a train going down this when I was real.
You can see the corn.
Yeah.
We'll go up there and see how much room there is, and I don't know if there'll be a place to drive up there to his grain cart and stuff. But see, it'd be so simple to use this way.
But that's someone else's.
But they put and the guy doesn't care.
Okay.
But they put a chunk of cement in to keep.
Yeah. Something definitely knocked it down.
And just up from the potato storage in the woods is this old cemetery. Now, as you can see, this has been here a long time. I remember hiking up here when I was a kid. This is on a different landowner's property. We are allowed to be up here, though, but I'm going to respect this and try to tread around here lightly and look around. As you can see, these headstones are quite old and weathered, so it's hard to read a lot of them. The ones I can read date back to the late 1800s. But there is no roads or anything to get back here. It's in the woods alongside a field with no public access.
This was fenced off at one time.
Right.
Do you remember this being was it ever well kept in your lifetime? Or, there's no way for this family to ever.
Well, and here's the thing. Tim and John came up here in the spring.
Uh-huh.
And maybe even other years. Tim looked it up on the computer or whatever.
Uh-huh.
This same Dressel family that buried all these young children, the ma and pa might be buried in that cemetery over there at Beaver Creek at 165.
Yeah, so this is all Dressels, the Dressel family.
Yep.
Do you know any Dressels in the area?
Dressel that was in my class. I think she's deceased, but he would have had to have been a relative.
Okay. This is 1874 to 1887. These are in pretty good shape.
And some of them are they only lived a few years.
Yeah.
Like Tim said, there's Dressel buried over in that other cemetery.
Yeah, here's a Ella, three years old. 1890 to 1893. And then some of these are so weathered.
Yeah.
Wow.
Away,
Mm-hmm.
without license around the farm, you know. That I mean, I was.
Now this has got to be dammed up down there.
It
huh?
ain't. Okay, that's what we're gonna go down this way now, and I'm gonna point.
There's got to be a Beavers down here. That's never.
Well, it
been-
has to be
there's-
backed up from
yeah,
way down below.
right, but
But I want you to stare into this side of the bank, because this is where I seen just this giant hind end of something.
Okay, yeah.
Just sloshing. And I don't know whether it went in the cover.
we got beaver activity. Them trees are chewed down.
It was somewhere further ahead. That, I mean, this was some big ass hind end.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
too far that George dug out.
So
The other one, you remember?
I remember that other one. Yeah.
Might as well check out part of Uncle George's fleet. Hey, that's a video idea in the future.
It is.
Taking up with his stuff.
Oh yeah.
They made it all the way, you know. over
Okay.
that way.
Well, looks pretty good.
But so far,
I grab that end. I just kicked this with my foot.
here, want a pair of gloves?
Nah.
I mean, just lift.
It's really light, actually.
Yeah.
It's not heavy at all. I'm not gonna hurt myself. Hope I got that on camera.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you bring the chainsaw and?
I got a cut right here.
But you got to start. Yeah, I know that. But if you could start cutting from the bottom.
Oh yeah.
No, I can't. It's just too heavy.
How about that?
Oh, this is the root still stuck down.
Oh, there. Now I can cut.
I mean,
Look at that.
oh, just look at you, David. You're stuff. Yeah, quit it. But
Should we do one more?
I'd say I have to, because the root's still hooked up. That I don't think this wants to move very. Oh my God! It looks like there's another one down here. The root's still. Well, we're gonna hit that tree. Well, there you go. I would say
If I can cut it,
yeah,
since it's free.
and I can get by.
Yeah. Well, actually,
In a way, this. I mean, that's plenty far out of the way.
all right.
Awesome.
The old DeWalt cordless chainsaw did pretty good. I'm pretty impressed.
And did I ever put this back?
All right, we got the trail cleared out. Let's head onward.
This beaver videos.
Yep. So you can see the beaver activity here from years ago, but they got a dam. They got a dam right here, and a little dam. They got this little dam here, but it looks like they got a pretty, I mean, there's the old dam from a couple years ago, but it looks like they kind of maybe rebuilt it up there. We'll go up there and have a look. But here's all the trees they took down a few years back, and you know, they got these sprouts growing on them now. So with all our beaver wisdom here in the Les family, we definitely have some beavers. We have beavers back. So beaver season is going to come in here day after Christmas in Ohio. I probably won't get the trap over here, but I admire the beavers' work, and I'm going to go admire it. No, there's a bunch of these thorn trees in here though. But
is there a hook laying here somewhere?
well, if I see one.
I'm more concerned about stepping on it.
Yeah, if I oh yeah. Not as often as I should.
They're every 6 years or so.
Well, then I'm probably due. But this is quite the dam here. I'm gonna go deeper in the bush. Now here's a beaver slide over here. By golly, I should have brought my machete. So yeah, you can see here, I'm guessing the beavers come up on land here, but I mean, look at that beaver dam over there. That's something else, by golly. I'm gonna come back a different way because it doesn't look as grown up here. It looks a lot clearer through here. So, man. Okay, so you can see here the beavers are you know, they're over here getting these little twigs and stuff, or little trees, whatever you want to call them. And I'm guessing, I mean, that's what they eat, but there's a good chance they should be building a feed pile somewhere, I would guess. I mean, I see more taking off back there. I mean, I see it all through here. So these are fairly fresh. So we have some recent beaver activity for sure. Spring tooth harrow. You think that was Grandpa's, or? Oh yeah, the old disc. Whatever I can film. Yeah, you got one coming. Too late.
What did it test, Charlie?
There's no more muskrats in here anymore. You don't see them, huh?
I don't see them.
Yeah.
This pond has so many little fish in it
Oh yeah.
that used to hang around the bank, and I fed bread. But I bet if a guy went ice fishing in the winter,
Catch some fish.
a big one's out there.
Yeah.
And I got 2 brand new fishing poles I've never used, but I bought another one, so now I got 3 brand new fishing poles. But I finally got them hooked, fitted with water, sinks, and hooks and sinkers.
Here, drive by the 195. Let me. Man, now I tell you, now here's a fine tractor. I just love these things. 232 white. The old white 245 Field Boss. I don't know how old I was when my grandpa bought this tractor. I remember it coming from Whitmer's Incorporated, and White actually didn't build these at the White factory. These were built by Iseki, and I remember my grandpa did not like the Iseki on here, so we had the maker, a guy that worked for my grandpa at the time, made these and put less on there instead of Iseki. This tractor's probably got a pile of hours on it. It was mostly used in the orchard and stuff. I cultivated corn with this tractor, but this is a good running tractor. You always had to glow it though. It didn't matter. You always had to run the glow plugs to start. It didn't matter if it was summer or not, but I do remember that. Man, it's been a long time since I've been on this tractor. I'd like to take this out for a spin, but so this tractor probably didn't do a lot of field work. As I said, I remember cultivating corn with this, a 4-row cultivator, but it's got these pallet forks on the back on the 3-point. It's hauled a lot of bulk bins of apples, green beans, sweet corn. It's probably done a lot of mowing. I remember mowing some with this tractor, but I doubt if the hour meter's right. It says it's got 3,313 hours. I'm guessing. I mean, I'll bet I was 6th, 7th grade when they got this tractor, so it's got to have a lot more hours on it than that. But had the gear shifter down here on the floor, throttle, and yep. And then I remember, yeah, you had to glow it. It would not start even in the summer if you didn't run the glow plugs. It was not going to start. Now, if you shut it off, if you were using it and you shut it off and come back, it'd start up. But if it sat for, it seemed like even an hour or better, you had to glow it. It was a cold-blooded thing, but once it fired up, it was a running son of a gun. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this shifter over here, neutral. So yeah, I think this even had the old ground speed PTO and all that good stuff. But yep. I had my camera on the wrong setting, so I will have to show you the white 232 tractor in another video. Stay tuned for that. Oh yeah. So guys and gals, kids, this barn here is where we used to grade sweet corn and apples. So there was a conveyor set up and everything in here. Had to dump the wagons out there. It was kind of a deck or whatever. We'd had hydraulic dump wagons. We dumped the sweet corn. There was a whole grading thing here. Pallet area over here. I mean, it was something. It's too bad they didn't have video cameras when I was a kid. But we even had square dances in this barn. Every year in June, before sweet corn season would start, we'd clean this barn all out and have some square dances in here. It was always a good time. And then as we got older, as kids got older, we had one on, I think the parents' night was like on a Friday or Saturday, and then the night before, we'd actually invite a lot of the school kids and from all our grades with my brother and cousin, and we were all pretty close to the same age, so we'd have a kids' square dance. So it was always a good time, and yeah. So anyways, not a lot to show you in here, but hey, just giving you a little history here on the Les farm. And the apple crates, there's my grandpa's name, Francis G. Les. Then the picking bags here, we used to use these to pick apples. You'd strap that on. Actually, we'd pick the end rows of sweet corn with these too, or if it was too wet to get the picker out in the field. So up top on the barn here is my first memory of shooting a BB gun. I come up here, my cousin Scott had a BB gun and I wanted to shoot it, and there was a bird up there, and I went to shoot that bird, and I'm not kidding you, I shot up there at the bird and that BB ricocheted back and hit me right here. So I'm actually pretty lucky about that. I don't think my parents ever knew that story, but my dad's about 6 feet away from me and he knows it now. Well, this is pretty cool. You know, we're all done with harvest in Western Ohio, and I'm back here in Eastern Ohio where I grew up and working on the original Les farm that my cousin runs here. and running his tractor and grain cart beside the combine here in the dark, so bonus footage. That's going to do it for this video. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Feel free to hit that like button and comment below. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, please go down there and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more of what I'm doing, you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Farmhand Mike. And as always, thanks for watching and supporting my social media.